that she didn't commit. Makes me want to flip my wig. Makes me want to fight. Makes me want to get out there and represent our people. Makes me want to flip my wig to a modern day Maxine Waters, who says, if you come for me, I'm coming for you. The same Maxine Waters during the Rodney King riots when 63 people were killed, the same Maxine Waters who walked the streets in the midst of the protest, in the midst of the riot, saying the same words that we hear today. No justice, no peace. Makes me want to flip my wig. The same Maxine Waters in 2009 sponsored a bill with John Connors calling for reparations for slavery to be paid to Black Americans. Makes me want to flip my wig to Queen Esther. Esther saved the Jewish people from destruction, protecting the line of the future Savior, Jesus Christ. Esther, who y'all know could have easily had hair that looks like the one that I have on, was able to turn the tables and save her people. When Mordecai, her uncle, spoke to her, he gave her these words. This was the exchange to her in Esther 4:12 through 14. And they told Mordecai what Esther said. Then Mordecai told them to reply to Esther. And I want you to listen to this very carefully. Do not think to yourself, and this is for our sisters and brothers who are far too comfortable with the other hue. He says, do not think to yourself that in the king's palace you will escape any more than all the other Jews. In other words, you are in, you are in, you are in. And no matter how you look at it, no matter how you think you see yourself, they still see you in that respect. I just had to say it. I just had to go there for a moment. Mordecai told her, for if you keep silent at this time, relief and deliverance will rise for the Jews for another place. But you and your father's house will perish. And he says, and who knows whether you have not come to this kingdom for such a time as this. For such a time as this. That is my question. What are you called to do for such a time as this? Are you called to sit in your comfort homes in the suburbs? Are you called to ignore the ministry that God has given you? Are you called to do a greater work? Are you called to speak out? Are you called to help the poor and the needy? Are you called to have a heart for the injustice? Are you called? Yesterday I had a funeral, and I had to sit in the faces of 5 small children who were burying their mother. 5 children. My heart went out to them because here's 5 children that are growing up without a mother. A mother who had health challenges, a mother who couldn't afford to take care of her health bills, a mother who struggled and did everything she could to be a good mother, but yet she still lost her life. What are we called to do? In 1831, at the annual election in Boston, Massachusetts, in 1831, listen to the words of Leonard Wilmington. He wrote a message entitled, Let No Man Despise Thee, in 1831. In his writing about a similar time as this, he asked, is the religion of Jesus Christ or is it of man? Are we experiencing the religion of Jesus Christ? Are we experiencing man? Do we have anybody out there that's going to say, I'm not going to flip my wig, I'm not going to lose it, I'm not going to come out of my control space? Because I know that at the end of the day, there's still a Jesus Christ. I know at the end of the day, Jesus is still working. I know at the end of the day, God will provide, God will protect. Because the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Another interesting thing that Winston said, the success of the gospel in the world is dependent on the ministers, the character of the ministers. We can be encouraged today because we have some awesome ministers doing great work on the front lines, awesome ministers doing kingdom work, ministers who are leading the protest, ministers who are putting their lives on the line, ministers who are marching for our good. I'm getting ready to close, I'm getting ready to wind up, but there's a lot to be said right now. He says, dwell in the land and feed on his faithfulness. David tells us that man or woman of God to leave aside worry and envy by simply enjoying the blessings that God gives. He provides Israel a land to enjoy, and the faithfulness was like food for them every day. Delight. This means to cheer one's heart and mind by considering and by faith receiving the multiple blessings of God. It is deliberately redirecting our emotions so that we are in control of how we feel and we start glorifying God. Paul and Silas in prison are a great example of that. In the midst of being behind bars, they just sang to the glory of God. And right now we can sing to the glory of God. We can start manifesting the power of God because his word says he will answer our prayers if we start glorifying and lifting up the name of Jesus. Whew. I'm almost finished. Commit your ways to the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. Committing our ways to him, the Hebrew for commit is literally roll, as getting rid of the burdens. Somebody say roll, 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 roll your burdens onto him, roll. And then trust God like in Proverbs 16:3. Trust in him. And he shall bring it to pass. Verses 7 and 8, he says, in this Pentecost season, Paul tells us in Romans 6:1 to be renewed and not to be calm. He encourages us and lets us know that the Holy Spirit is with us. The Holy Spirit will guide us, and the Holy Spirit will help us in all of our trials and tribulations. He says, rest in the Lord. Because Jesus came to redeem us. Jesus came to give us everything that we don't have in our own abilities. In our own abilities, we cannot do it. But through Jesus Christ, we can. I'm encouraged today because I saw signs, and I want you to think about this. I saw the other hue carrying signs saying Christianity and racism does not mix. Get that. You can't profess to be a Christian and be a white supremacist. You can't profess to be a Christian and hate other people. I'm encouraged because I saw signs that read, white silence is violence. White silence is violence. I'm encouraged today because the Lord showed me something. George Floyd died, and they held him down with their knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. And I said, God, you speaking so many. What are you saying about 8 minutes and 46 seconds? He said, Alicia, that's how he talks to me. He said, Alicia, I want you to look at this. I said, well, what is it, God, that you want me to see? He said, I want you to see this in particular. He said, I gave George Floyd 1 minute for every year that he lived. He are not like your time. My ways are not like your ways. But I'm sending you a message that 8 minutes and 46 seconds, I'm letting you know that even though it looks bad, I was still in that. He says, guess what I want you to look at too? He said, look at the number 8. He said, through George Floyd, the number 8 means new beginnings. Come here, somebody. Is anybody out there ready for a new beginning in this world? A new revelation about God. 8 minutes, 46 seconds. I gave him 8 minutes, and I'm just showing you right now 46 seconds for every year that he lived. But it's a new beginning for America. It's our new beginning for America. Reckoning day is upon us. I'm closing, y'all. Talk about flipping wigs. Talk about flipping wigs.